It is Conversations ITL. I am Sean Pryme, of course, from ITL Live with Sean Pryme and Brenna B. Brenna B has some time off every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And ITL Live Conversations is where we go around the industry and we get those individuals that you know and you respect and make sure we can find out they're doing okay and find out some encouragement from them as they're going through this pandemic with us. You know, the hashtag is Alone Together. I got my good friend. She's been a part of the station, met her way back when I first was meeting Straight Talk with Daphne. Daphne Wynn comes on every Saturday. There's none other than Shanrae Price inside the building. I don't know. A little birdie told me that them Price sisters can sing. I'm talking about the Price sisters. I'm talking about Shanrae and Kelly Price. Of course, that is her sister. And first of all, welcome to the show. And you look fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Pryme. Thank you for inviting me once again. It's always a pleasure being here with Sensation Station Network and ITL Live. Thank you.
I appreciate it. For those who may have caught some of our conversation yesterday, you know, technology, I'm going to say it, technology, I love it, but sometimes it's a pain.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got to fix it and make sure it's right. So we fix it and make sure it's right so we can talk to you and hear all the wonderful words that you are saying to us today. And there's so much stuff. I mean, first of all, just tell people again your background. And as I mentioned, you are Kelly Price's sister, and you guys came up in this thing together, right?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So I'm 30 years in the industry. I started out, my first professional gig was with George Michael, and that was back in 1990. It had a huge concert at Madison Square Garden in New York. You know, we from New York, Pryme. So
right,
yeah, we from New York. So he was doing a big tour back in 1990, and he needed a 100 voice choir, and I was a part of that choir. My sister was a part of that choir, and then Mariah came to the concert because you know he was under the Sony umbrella.
Right.
So she was there supporting her fellow Sony brother, and she loved the choir, and she wanted to borrow the choir for the Grammys, 1990 Grammys. Wow. And so it was awesome. Everything just started like shifting and moving really quickly. And from there, being a part of that 100 voice choir with Mariah, she wound up hiring my sister and myself, Kelly and myself, out of 100 voice choir. And then our career took off from there. I sang with everybody, Luther Vandross, Gloria Estefan, P. Diddy.
You naming some names now. You know, you naming some names. Some of our millennial listeners may not know those names, but you drop some names now.
Right. All they got to do is just Google. Y'all millennials, y'all know what to do. Go Google them, YouTube them. You're going to find out you actually know their music, you know? A lot of pioneers. A lot of
pioneers. And you yourself, again, a lot of favorite music that people listen to. You've been a part of a lot of hits, you know, and then now you are doing gospel. I know that you're doing gospel, and you have some secular music as well.
Yes.
And just kind of take me through the shift of going and working with these huge names, because any artist right now in this day and age would love to have half of the success that you had.
Yeah.
And there's no way they would think about leaving that crew of big name individuals to go to, at that time, you're talking about the 90s around, right?
Yes, it was.
So at that time, you know, 90s gospel wasn't really hitting like, let's say, 2020 gospel.
No, not at all.
A little bit more money being thrown around, a little bit more names, you know what I mean? But 90s gospel, go ahead and leave that group of R&B and sometimes hip hop to go into that had to be a big step. What made you make that decision?
Well, it was two things. It was one, my conviction, and secondly, my family. And like you said, back in the 90s, it just, you didn't have the Kirk Franklins and stuff. They wasn't that well known, Mary and all of that back then.
Yeah.
Donnie McClurkin, he was around. I used to sing with Donnie too on the gospel side.
Because in the 90s, wasn't it still kind of traditional a little bit? Yeah.
Very, very traditional. So even the form of music that I do, it wouldn't have been accepted because they would have been like, oh, that's more R&B-ish and everything. Mm-hmm. But when I was out and singing, and my sister and I, we used to do halftime whenever we were touring with Mariah. So for the halftime show, the Price sisters would get up and sing. So we actually got a deal. We were up under the Columbia umbrella. She had a label at that time, and she was actually bringing the Price sisters out. But again, I shifted first my convictions, because I am a gospel artist. I'm a minister, Christian. So
Mhm.
whenever I sing, I'm very passionate about it, but I do begin to minister when I sing. If I feel like I need to connect with someone and just give them
Mhm.
a word, those that are Christians, Christian believers, y'all understand what I'm saying.
Mhm.
When I give them a word, that wasn't acceptable back then. It was kind of a, it was kind of a turn off at
Yeah,
that
yeah,
time. And so I had to make a decision because that's who I am.
yeah.
So my convictions, and then secondly, which is really first, I had three small babies, my husband and I. And if I chose my career at that time, I would have lost my family. I really would have
Wow.
lost my family. So I made the choice to keep my family, to raise my babies. And I'm so glad that I did.
Wow.
They're 27 going on 28, 25 to be 26, and the baby's 24. And we're grandparent. We're a grandparent now.
Mhm.
We have a little baby grandbaby, little girl. And I'm just so glad that I made the choice to raise my own children, not let a nanny raise them, not let the streets raise them, not let the neighborhood raise them, but
Mhm.
I raised them. And I'm saying that because of so much that's going on now with our millennials, and what I put in them, I see coming out of them now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, kudos to you for that. Man, that's why I'm not a singer, because I probably would have still been hanging with them people right now. I'd be going,
I don't know,
hey,
Pryme. You
wherever you
really
going, I'm going.
I don't know. Pryme is, you know what? Pryme is really a good-hearted guy. He really is.
Nah,
He
nah.
would choose his family.
If I would have saw stuff going left, or my spirit, if my spirit started tugging on me, you know what I mean? Because we all have that inner voice.
Right,
You want to
right,
connect it to a higher power, or just a still small voice that's there, or your
right,
auntie, your grandmama, and them. You know what I mean?
right,
Just saying, hey, this is not the way to go. I
right.
believe that my foundation growing up has been that strong. It would have guided me if I felt
Yes,
that it wasn't, appropriate or nurturing my spirit and my soul,
right.
or my creativity, healthy creativity, because you can always be creative.
Yes.
Healthy creativity, and this creativity that's I could have left it alone. You know what I mean? But, but,
Right.
but for you to make that decision, especially in the night, man, because you did some stuff with Diddy too, right?
Oh my God, Diddy. I mean, everybody that's out.
Yeah.
Faith Evans, Mary. I mean, we were hitting. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. I gotta let people know. You talk about the '90s when Bad Boy ruled the world.
yes,
You,
yes,
ooh, Shanrae,
yes.
Shanrae, man.
It was not an easy decision. And
Yeah.
let me correct this, guys. I was not in a bad environment. Mariah, working with them, and even with Diddy and everything, they were so respectful. They knew my background. They
Mhm.
were always respectful. It was just my convictions. And again, my babies were so small. They needed their mom. I would have lost my family.
Right.
And so it was a great
And when you
environment.
say losing them, I'm just, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just stepping in here. But when you say losing them, possibly because of the touring that you were doing, all
Yes,
the nights going out, you know what I mean, studios, things like that. So,
right.
yeah, sometimes that's not conducive for
It wasn't.
a
It
close knit
wasn't.
family. Mhm.
Right. The tours was 6 months, 9 months. I come back home and the kids don't know who their mama are,
Yeah,
who their mama is. And it was just a lot. It was a lot. So I had to make a decision.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we appreciate that. We appreciate that because the way to authentic you, I like to say, is really to get to know you. There's a lot of people don't know themselves, so if you
Right.
don't really know who you are, what you want, what you stand for, then you really can't be authentic. You can
That's
say it
right.
all the time, but if you don't know yourself,
That's right.
yeah, there's
Hmm.
gonna be some issues. So I'm glad that you were able to know yourself. Talking
Yeah.
about this, what we're in right now, 2020, it was. Boy, I
Yeah.
did this on the radio show prior 2020, like December 2019. I started seeing memes. 2020, I smelled a whole bunch of black millionaires. 2020 has been
Right.
my year and everything, and it just seemed like it was a magical time.
Right.
Then February, middle of February, March to present, we're in something that has never happened in the world.
It's been surreal. This is
How you, as the creator, how are you dealing with this? Because speaking now as a creator, as an artist, to go out there, as you mentioned, tours, ain't no
right.
touring right now.
No.
Ain't no people going to studios right now, as far as I know.
Right.
How are you able to make things work out for you and your family right now?
Well, thank God for social media.
Mhm.
Social media, it's a great tool, and for us artists, those of us that tour, that's our living. Those of us that go and do shows, that's our living.
Mhm.
um I want to encourage you, tap into your we're multifaceted as artists. A lot
Mhm.
of times we don't just sing or just play. A lot of times we do a lot of other things. We're great with our hands
Mhm.
and creating stuff. Tap into that. You don't have to be top notch with doing it, but if it's something that you can do, you don't even have to be good at it, because the more you do something, the better it gets. So
Mhm.
tap into it. Tap into your. We're so multifaceted. Just try it. Go on out there. Utilize social media, and most of all, don't freak out. Quiet your mind. Don't freak out, and just know that what you do is going to work, and you will actually be surprised the things that you'll wind up being great at once you tap into it. So just utilize social media and tap into what you're good at.
It's funny you mentioned that because right now, when you look at any part of social media, whether it's IG or Facebook, you see a lot of DJs coming on and spinning. I've seen
Yeah.
Theo from not Tribe. Was it Tribe Called Quest? He's from well, Tribe, Jungle Brothers, and De La Soul. De La Soul.
Oh, De La Soul.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
He's mixing, and a couple other different DJs are out there doing their thing. DJ Jazzy Jeff, but who kicked it off was DJ Greg Knight, DJ Knight,
Yes.
right? And a lot of people don't know that he was a rapper as well before being a DJ. He
Right.
did that hand in hand. So again, tapping into his other skill set. And
Mhm.
as soon as he did that, it blew up, and
Right.
paying homage and saying, "Man,
Right.
I've got to get into this."
How many was it? How many hundreds of thousands of viewers he had?
Mhm.
It's like he crashed social media or something
Yeah,
doing it,
pretty
right?
much.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
it's a staple. Now it is you're not going to. I guarantee anybody after they finish watching this, some time today, there's going to be a DJ, maybe even now spinning.
That's
And
right.
he's the one that kicked it off. And again,
Yeah.
paying homage to those individuals and saying thank you. But him tapping into his skill set, other than
Yes.
rapper, is what has allowed him to go ahead and be successful now. I
Right.
want to I want to ask you something.
Uh-huh.
And again, it's great to see you, and I appreciate your time.
Okay.
As I know that time is valuable, especially now during this pandemic. I want to ask you something. I heard something. It was yesterday. I think it was Swiss Beats. He was talking on, I believe it was Joe Budden. I'll give him a shout out on Joe Budden's podcast, and
Okay.
he was saying that he believes that rappers. I'm going to put this not only to rappers, but I'm going to put this to people in R&B and hip hop, because right now R&B and hip hop really has blended. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like all
Mhm.
one thing.
That's right.
But he's saying that there's a lot of people that are making music now that really should be paying taxes on those people that came before.
Yeah.
So the LL Cool J's, the Cool Herc, some of these people I'm naming will not even know who I'm talking about. Big Daddy Kane, people like that.
Amen.
So
Yeah.
now you're Tory Lanez and all these individuals who are rapping now, and YFN Lucci and these individuals. He says they should pay some type of tax. Should be some type of tax that's put together. Of course, this wouldn't be through the government. This is through our industry.
Right.
That the individuals who made this music and made it possible for people now to make all this exorbitant amount of money, they should be handed their dues. Because you got to think about it. At that time, talking about right before in the 80s and stuff
Yeah.
like that, people they weren't caking like they are now.
No, not at all.
What do you
Not at
think?
all.
What do you think about that?
I totally agree. Totally. Again, a lot of these young people, when they're hearing what they call it, the covers or the remakes
Mhm.
of this, and they put
Oh
like
my
a
goodness.
rap or something.
I mean, it's dope, but there is at least on this station alone, there's probably over a dozen tracks that are played on this station that
Right.
originally came from something older.
Right, exactly. And yes, the founders, the originators, they need their just due. Go on and pay them their taxes, and then let people know that who originally did it. Like for
Mhm.
instance, Missy Elliott's I had to go back and do a little research. Her I Can't Stand the Rain.
Uh-huh.
That's Tina Turner. That's Tina Turner. And
Mhm.
I actually was walking into a grocery store and heard the original. And I was like, that sounds like Tina Turner.
Mhm.
She's the one who did the song I Can't Stand the Rain. Missy came back and reintroduced it and
Right.
killed it. So
Right.
yeah, I believe strongly, yes, give honor to where honors due, give them their taxes on it.
Yep.
Let these younger people know who's the originators of this music. But I just came back and redid it and just put my little spin on it,
Yeah,
Yes,
because especially if you making some of these hits are making, millions of dollars. So if you're
yes,
talking about, let's say, I don't know, 10% of that, 5% of that, or whatever,
right,
it could keep these artists, and some of them aren't faring as well.
right,
I mean, let's be honest. There's some of those
right.
individuals aren't faring as well, and it
They're
may
not.
be because of own devices or whatever. But again, the structure wasn't set up as it is now, and I
No,
just see that as
I
very.
can talk about me. It's a lot of young people that I've mentored in the music industry,
Mhm.
musicians, singers, and everything. And one thing really it struck a chord with me, not a negative way, but it was just like a light bulb moment. He said, "Oh, you was out back then where you had to do all the work and you didn't get no money." He said, "Now we just do go in the studio and do one little thing." He said they sit there and they loop it. He said we don't
Pretty
do
much.
no work and we get all the royalties. See, back when I was 30 years ago, there was no such thing as royalties for us. It was one shot deal when you go and get paid one time and that's it. So these young people, and then just like the people before me paved the way for us.
Mhm.
We paved the way for these other people.
Mhm.
Go back and give people their just due.
Yeah,
Give them
I think
yeah.
it's something that does warrant more conversation. And when I heard it, there were some people, I won't say the names, but some individuals in the business saying it's a great idea, but people won't do it because they don't want to give up their coins. But again, it's really, there's a culture that we have here. There's a culture that we created, and
That's
we
right.
want to make sure that we preserve that culture.
That's
And
right.
people like yourself and your sister are part of that culture. And
Yes.
it's not so much that y'all can't make your own money, because
Right.
outside of being an artist, you have your other endeavors, which you are
Yes.
very successful at. But it's
Yes.
about making sure that we say, listen, we appreciate that. We appreciate,
Right.
if
Right.
you go and you go to a restaurant, if you get good service, it's
Yes.
customary to tip. So think of it as a tip. So
Right.
something that I believe will have more conversation. And I just want to get your take on that. Getting your take on, again, post pandemic or in pandemics, not post yet, even though the states are starting to open up a little bit. And even I heard Keisha Lance Bottom say that she's a little surprised that it's doing as well as it is.
Right.
But there are still people who have reservations going outside. It's busy today. It's a nice day, but like 5 o'clock traffic isn't really 5 o'clock traffic
Right.
pandemic. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
It's
can
not.
still get from here, Buckhead, to downtown in probably 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
At five
Right.
o'clock. So
Right.
that means some people are still working at home. They still
Yeah.
have reservations. Um, how do you talk to your family as far as the opening up of Georgia? What's the kind of conversation you guys have?
My family, we're all on the same page. Those my daughter, she works from home because she does call center, so she's
Mhm.
allowed to work from home. My husband and my baby boy, they work for a company, Clorox, so
Uh,
they have to go out, but they're go to work and come back home. My oldest has the option of working between home
mhm,
and the job, but that's it. We're on the same page. When we go out, we wear our mask and our gloves.
mhm.
We're not just to get necessities, and we're in because we're following the science of everything. We're
Right,
listening to the doctors, we're
right.
listening to the scientists. You know what I'm saying? And because they're talking about there's going to be a second wave coming, and it's going to be worse
Oh,
than the
man.
first one. We
I
need to
hope
be
they're wrong
smart.
on that one, man.
I'm telling you.
I hope this is one time. I hope all these scientists' diplomas
Ooh,
aren't worth the paper they're on. But yeah, that'd be scary. But ah, that's the thing right there, as you said, listening to the science.
yes,
I respect government, I respect officials and constituents and all that stuff like that. But I'm a DJ, I'm not a mechanic.
right,
Shanrae, as
right.
much as I like you, if you come and you bring your car to me and you tell me there's something wrong with the brakes, I'm gonna jack it up.
That's the
All right,
truth.
I'm gonna jack it up.
I'm
It
with
could
you.
be tweaking. It could be. I'm gonna say
I'm with you.
just
That's
focus five
right.
times. It'll stop just 5 times. You know what I mean?
Right,
I'm not a mechanic, so I
right.
take it and I say, all right, governors, mayors, and the like, you're not scientists, you're not
Right.
in the healthcare field. So
Right.
these individuals who have studied viruses for most of their adult life, I
Yes.
would say that would be the person I would listen to. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's just the way I'm
Yeah. And that's who I'm listening to, the CDC, these scientists, and these doctors. And again, when I was a little bit younger, I was in the medical field on a private duty.
thinking.
Listen, I understand how viruses and stuff transact through the orifices of your mouth, your nose, your eyes, all of
Mhm.
that. So we have to be careful. And then again, with us being artists or us flying, doing tours and stuff, I mean, I'm still getting invitations. I have to turn it down.
Yeah.
I'm turning it down because I'm not getting on a plane. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not risking my health. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate that smartness, that you have because we want you around for a very long time. And
Thank you.
you have a lot of great music to make and a lot of great inspiration to give us. And I know you have some projects that you were doing as of late. I know you have a project that you were doing as far as paying homage. Isn't that
Yes.
tonight?
Yes, it is. It's
Yeah.
tonight. I've been doing it for the month of May. It's on my Council of Day platform.
Uh-huh.
But this month, I just been honoring my sister friends, my family. Next week will be my mom, my stepdad, my aunts, and my godmama. This week is my mentors, people that I knew growing up who
Uh-huh.
really deposited in me and they believed in me and they really did encourage me, not just as a singer, but on a personal level, how being a person of good character, a person of integrity,
Yeah.
and don't give up and just go on and work towards your dreams. And although it may be hard, just don't give up. Do it. Keep doing it. And I'm telling you, today I still hear all of this, and I still believe in what they have deposited in me. I put it in my children, and that's why a lot of things have worked so well for me in my life. Yes.
Well, I got to tell you, people are needing inspiration and loving what you're doing. As I said, meeting you all those years ago, you have supported this station, and I like to tell the story. We joke about it, but like when I met you, I didn't connect with you with Kelly.
Right.
I was just like, well, Shanrae, she can sing her face off. That's all I knew. And they'd be like, well, you know why she sing her face off? She Kelly Price's sister. I'm like, okay, whatever. Now I want to see Shanrae.
He sure was. He was exactly like that.
That didn't really trip me. I respect your sister and everything. You guys are dynamic, but again, as I said, I appreciate your support. Anytime when I look down, I look at a comment, I see Shanrae there, checking me out, and I'm like, man, ain't she supposed to be in the studio somewhere? Ain't she with Diddy somewhere? She's checking out the show. Was she in the studio with Diddy somewhere? So,
Oh, the show is amazing. I love it. And I want to thank you for your support. I was on tour last year with a bunch of indie artists. They were great. And Pryme, he brought us in, interviewed everybody. It was like 10 of us, four gentlemen, six ladies. No, it was well, however, but you interviewed all of us and just brought light to the our tour. It was amazing, and I want to thank you.
yeah, how did that
Thank
go? By the
you.
way? Did it go good?
It went very well. I mean, we did like the Chitlin circuit.
Right, right.
Y'all millennials, I don't think y'all know about that, but
They know what that is. They know what that is.
they know. But we did like the Chitlin circuit. We went like to Gonzales, Texas,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Lufkin, Texas, and we went to Arizona and different places. But
Mhm.
wherever we went, oh my God, it was so amazing. The people came out and supported. They were so thankful that we chose to tour their state, their little cities and towns, and it was wonderful. And of course, they spread the word, of course, about our
Of
music,
course,
of course.
of course.
Mhm.
Let me ask you this before I let you go. What's on the menu? What are you working on as far as creativity, as far as artistry? Just tell me what. Let me know what you want me to know, and everyone else watching. What's going on with you as far as for the music.
Okay, so of course I'm working my Counsel of the Day platform because I am a degree counselor.
Mhm.
So that's every 3 months. I do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 30 minutes, 9 to 9:30 p.m. And then I started December 2019 an indie artist showcase that I do 60 minutes. I highlight 4 to 5 artists on their music, their videos, getting the word out, letting people know about their talent, their tremendous talent talent. We bring on radio hosts such as yourself,
Yes,
and you all come on and they you all critique the artist. You give a lot of insight, and then so the viewers ask a lot of questions, so you all answer that. And this is just to help promote some great indie artists, and they're not just Christians. If you have great clean music, you're welcome to be on the platform. And of course, I have a single that will be dropping the 1st of June, and my music is inspirational. So it appeals to everybody. My music is about life. And so this song that's getting ready to drop, it's not exactly Christian gospel, and it's a little R&B-ish, but you all gonna like it.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. You know it's gonna play here. That's quite all right. And I think just to piggyback on what you said, I think that a lot of people are looking for the real life experience.
Yes.
And if that includes spirituality, if that includes higher power as far as connection,
right?
That's what people gravitate towards a little bit more in this day and age, because people are looking for real answers. This is something that nobody asked for as far as what's happening with the coronavirus. Nobody asked for this.
No.
So Christians, believers and non-believers alike, are going to have all kind of questions.
Right.
And those believers, I hate to say this is not that type of interview at this time, but there's some believers out there that could have their faith wane a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Especially they lost someone due to this unfortunate circumstance.
We lost my grandfather due to COVID, and so it's hitting everybody, believers, non-believers. This is life.
Yeah.
But we just gonna be safe. We're gonna be safe.
So Shanrae, if I let you go, like I said, the Price sisters can sing. So you gotta show them that I ain't lying. So you gotta go ahead, you gotta do something and sing us on out.
Pryme's gonna put me on the spot.
Yeah, to put you on the spot.
He gonna put me on the spot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna sing a little bit. Just a little bit of Tremaine Hawkins. When you pray, everything will be all right. When you pray, everything will work out fine. Just have faith. When you pray, when you need a friend, pray when you need a friend. Just have faith when you pray. All right.
Shanrae Price, man, I appreciate you always. And as far as for that situations happening in June, I'll let people know a little bit more here during the show.
Awesome.
I come on tomorrow for the Independent Artists Showcase. Shanrae, it's always a pleasure, and I'm glad that you're keeping yourself safe. And again, the decisions that you made, I commend you, because like I said, if I was hanging with Mariah and Diddy and Diana Ross and whoever else at that time, I'd probably still be hanging at them. I'll be on Diddy's couch right now. Just hanging.
Don't listen to Pryme. Pryme, he's gonna listen to him in here.
All right, I'll see you, man.
Thank you.
All right. Just at ITL.com. Smart Talk for Smarter Listeners. It is Conversations ITL. And make sure you check me out tomorrow on the live show that's ITL Live, Sean Pryme, right here on SSNATL.com. Remember, without God, you ain't nothing. Keep your spirit up. I'll see you. Peace.